The world of One Piece has always been filled with legendary tales of adventure, unmatched strength, and epic battles. Yet, one question remains a tantalizing mystery for fans of the series. What would happen if the new generation of pirates clashed with the old guard of legends? Would the burgeoning strength and potential of the newer generation be enough to rival the overwhelming experience and sheer power of the older icons? This hypothetical scenario sets the stage for an exhilarating showdown between two generations, pitting the strongest pirates from each era against one another in a multi-stage battle to determine supremacy. The video begins by painting a vivid picture of this premise, breaking the battle into carefully structured stages. Each stage introduces combatants from both generations, escalating the stakes and showcasing how these fighters match up against one another. Through this narrative lens, viewers are invited to analyze the strengths, weaknesses, and tactical approaches of characters who have cemented their legacy in the One Piece world, as well as those on the rise. From the old legends who were at their prime to the promising rookies reaching new heights, this clash serves as a thrilling hypothetical that captures the imagination of fans. To kick things off, the first stage presents a clash between two of the most notable figures of the new generation, Monkey D. Luffy and Roronoa Zoro, against the overwhelming might of two Yonko from the old generation, Kaido and Big Mom. This matchup immediately sets the tone for the battle, highlighting the sheer gap in power and experience between the two groups. Luffy, now the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates and an official emperor of the sea, stands as a beacon of hope and determination for the new generation. Armed with his unyielding resolve and the mastery of advanced conqueror's haki, Luffy has grown into a force to be reckoned with. Most notably, his recent discovery and use of Gear 5 have propelled his capabilities to an entirely new level. Gear 5, with its cartoonish elasticity and reality-defying properties, represents the peak of his powers and symbolizes the manifestation of his full potential as the inheritor of Joy Boy's will. Against Kaido, a foe he has already faced in the past, Luffy is prepared to showcase just how far he has come since their last encounter. On the other hand, Zoro, the swordsman of the Straw Hat crew and Luffy's right-hand man, enters the fray with an impressive arsenal of abilities. Having mastered the use of Enma, the legendary sword once wielded by Kazuki Oden, Zoro has elevated his strength and control over haki, particularly armament haki, to extraordinary levels. However, despite his rapid growth, Zoro's abilities remain untested against foes of this caliber, making this clash against Big Mom a daunting challenge for the swordsman. As the battle begins, Luffy's face-off with Kaido quickly becomes the centerpiece of the stage. Kaido, the self-proclaimed strongest creature in the world, is no stranger to combat and has repeatedly demonstrated his near-invincible strength throughout the series. However, this time, Luffy enters the fight with a distinct advantage. He no longer needs to endure a prolonged beating to unlock his advanced conqueror's haki, as he has fully mastered it. Moreover, starting the battle in Gear 5 gives him an edge, allowing him to unleash his full potential from the very beginning. The clash between Luffy and Kaido is nothing short of spectacular. Luffy's Gear 5 abilities introduce a new layer of unpredictability to the fight, as his rubber-like body stretches and contorts in ways that defy conventional combat logic. His attacks, infused with advanced conqueror's haki, hit with devastating force, creating shockwaves that ripple across the battlefield. Kaido, in response, relies on his immense strength, durability, and mastery of both his dragon form and hybrid form to counter Luffy's assault. The two engage in a high-octane exchange of blows, their battle shaking the very ground beneath them. While Luffy holds his own against Kaido, Zoro's duel with Big Mom proves to be a more challenging ordeal. Big Mom, with her mastery over Soul Fruit abilities and her terrifying use of haki, is a force to be reckoned with. Her Homis, Zeus, and Prometheus amplify her already formidable strength, creating a nearly insurmountable obstacle for Zoro. Despite his exceptional swordsmanship and haki prowess, Zoro struggles to keep up with the sheer power and versatility of Big Mom's attacks. Zoro's valiant efforts are evident as he uses every ounce of his strength to push back against Big Mom. His control over Enma allows him to unleash devastating slashes infused with haki, and his determination drives him to endure punishing blows. However, the gap in their power becomes increasingly apparent as the battle drags on. Big Mom's overwhelming strength and unrelenting onslaught eventually wears Zoro down, leading to his defeat. With Zoro incapacitated, Big Mom is free to assist Kaido, creating a dire situation for Luffy. Despite his remarkable resilience and ingenuity, Luffy finds himself overwhelmed by the combined might of the two emperors. While Gear 5 grants him unparalleled flexibility and power, even Luffy's boundless stamina has its limits. Facing the relentless assault of Kaido and Big Mom, Luffy is forced into a defensive position, desperately trying to fend off their attacks. The strain of maintaining Gear 5, combined with the relentless pressure from his opponents, eventually takes its toll. After a grueling and hard-fought battle, Luffy succumbs to exhaustion, resulting in the defeat of the new generation in this initial stage. This opening stage sets a sobering tone for the rest of the battle, highlighting the immense challenge the new generation faces in their quest to surpass the old legends. While Luffy and Zoro demonstrate incredible growth and potential, their defeat underscores the monumental gap that still exists between them and the likes of Kaido and Big Mom. However, this loss also serves as a catalyst for the new generation to regroup, strategize, and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead in the subsequent stages of this epic hypothetical showdown. The battlefield, already chaotic and intense, became even more electrifying when Eustace Kid and Trafalgar Law entered the fray. Their arrival signaled a pivotal moment in the battle against Big Mom. Luffy and Zoro, who had been holding their ground admirably, welcomed the reinforcements with a mix of relief and determination. The four of them, representing the new generation of pirates, symbolized a united front against one of the most formidable forces of the old era. However, as the dust settled and the battle raged on, it became apparent that this fight would not be as straightforward as their prior encounters. In their earlier skirmishes with Big Mom, environmental factors had played a significant role in leveling the playing field. Whether it was unpredictable terrain or the unique properties of their surroundings, these advantages had given them opportunities to exploit Big Mom's vulnerabilities. Now, stripped of such conveniences, the new generation found themselves confronting the raw, unfiltered power of one of the Yonko. Big Mom, undeterred by their combined assault, unleashed devastating attacks that tested the resolve and endurance of her opponents. Despite the absence of environmental aids, the synergy between Luffy, Zoro, Kid, and Law began to shine through. Each member of the team brought unique abilities and strategies to the table. Luffy, with his boundless energy and Gear 4th techniques, acted as the primary distraction, drawing Big Mom's attention and absorbing the brunt of her attacks. Zoro, wielding Enma, pushed his swordsmanship to new heights, delivering precise and powerful strikes that kept Big Mom on her toes. Meanwhile, Kid utilized his magnetic powers to manipulate the battlefield, creating makeshift weapons and shields out of the metallic debris. Law, with his mastery of the Opope no Mi, coordinated tactical strikes, teleporting his allies to safety and landing precise, spatially devastating blows. However, Big Mom was not to be underestimated. Her overwhelming strength, coupled with the destructive power of her Homies, Prometheus, Zeus, and Hera, kept the new generation constantly on edge. Every misstep or momentary lapse in focus was met with swift and brutal retaliation. The battlefield became a test of endurance and creativity as the team adapted to Big Mom's relentless onslaught. Zoro, in particular, bore the brunt of several heavy attacks while trying to shield his allies from harm. His resilience and determination became a cornerstone of their strategy, buying valuable time for Kid and Law to unleash coordinated counterattacks. The turning point in the battle came when the four fighters managed to disrupt Big Mom's connection with her Homies. Exploiting a brief moment of discord between Prometheus, Zeus, and Hera, Law used his abilities to separate them from Big Mom, creating an opening for Kid to launch a massive magnetic construct. The combined power of their attacks finally forced Big Mom onto the defensive, a rare sight that reinvigorated the morale of the new generation. Luffy seized the opportunity to land a devastating blow, utilizing a newly mastered technique that pushed his Gear 4th to its limits. With Zoro delivering a final, precise slash to weaken her defenses, the combined efforts of the four fighters culminated in an unprecedented victory. Big Mom, though not completely defeated, was forced to retreat, marking a significant milestone for the new generation. While the victory against Big Mom was a monumental achievement, the battle was far from over. The stakes were raised even higher as reinforcements from the old generation entered the fray. Silver Rayleigh and Scopper Garban, legends from the Roger Pirates, joined the battlefield, their presence an undeniable reminder of the strength and experience of the old era. Their arrival marked the beginning of a new and grueling phase in the conflict. Rayleigh and Garban's involvement was both a boon and a challenge for the new generation. While their experience and skill added a powerful edge to the fight, it also highlighted the vast gap that still existed between the two generations. Luffy, Kid, Law, and Zoro found themselves in a precarious position, trying to keep up with the old legends while simultaneously fending off the relentless onslaught of enemies. The battlefield became a chaotic mix of clashes, with the old and new generations fighting side by side yet struggling to find a cohesive rhythm. Luffy, taking on the role of leader and primary combatant, focused on stalling multiple high-level enemies. His ability to adapt and improvise became crucial in buying time for his allies. However, the relentless nature of the battle began to take its toll. Kid, Law, and Zoro, despite their best efforts, found themselves struggling against the sheer power and experience of their opponents. Each of them pushed their abilities to the limit, but the pressure of the fight exposed their vulnerabilities. Kid's magnetic powers, while formidable, were countered by the tactical precision of the old generation. Law's spatial abilities, though effective, were not enough to completely turn the tide against their seasoned adversaries. Zoro, wielding Enma with unparalleled skill, delivered powerful attacks but suffered significant injuries in the process. The strain of the battle began to weigh heavily on the new generation, their initial momentum waning under the relentless assault. Amidst the chaos, Rayleigh and Garban demonstrated why they were considered legends. Their mastery of Haki and unparalleled combat skills turned the tide in several skirmishes, providing crucial support to the new generation. Rayleigh, in particular, acted as a mentor figure, offering guidance and tactical advice to Luffy and his allies. Garban's precision and strength created openings that allowed the new generation to regroup and recover. However, even with their support, the battle remained fiercely contested. The turning point in this phase came with a devastating loss for the new generation. Despite their combined efforts, they were unable to prevent the defeat of one of their key allies. The loss served as a harsh reminder of the challenges they faced and the price of their ambition. It was a moment that tested their resolve and forced them to confront the reality of their situation. The new generation, though battered and bruised, refused to back down. Their determination to forge their own path and challenge the old era's dominance became the driving force behind their continued efforts. As the battle raged on, the lines between the old and new generations began to blur. The shared goal of overcoming their adversaries created moments of unity and mutual respect. Luffy, Kid, Law, and Zoro, inspired by the strength and resilience of Rayleigh and Garban, found renewed strength within themselves. The battlefield became a crucible, forging bonds and testing limits as the two generations fought side by side. Ultimately, Stage 3 of the conflict highlighted the complexities and challenges of transitioning from one era to the next. The new generation, while ambitious and powerful, still had much to learn from the legends of the past. The old generation, though nearing the twilight of their reign, found hope and inspiration in the determination of their successors. The battle, far from being a mere clash of strength, became a symbol of the ongoing struggle to define the future of the pirate world. The battle reached a critical juncture as Blackbeard and Quan took center stage, shifting the tides of war in unprecedented ways. Blackbeard, with his Yami Yami no Mi, demonstrated the terrifying ability to nullify devil fruit powers. His presence on the battlefield sent waves of panic through the ranks of the old generation, who had long relied on their devil fruits for dominance. Big Mom, with her fearsome Soru Soru no Mi powers, found herself at an uncharacteristic disadvantage. Blackbeard's mastery over his darkness-based abilities allowed him to pull her in and strip her of her most potent techniques, leaving her vulnerable to the combined assault of the new generation. As Blackbeard engaged Big Mom, Quan faced off against the legendary Dark King, Silver's Rayleigh. Quan, a rising star of the new generation, had spent years honing his combat abilities, and his clash with Rayleigh was a testament to the evolution of strength across generations. Despite Rayleigh's years of experience and mastery of Haki, Quan's unorthodox fighting style and adaptability proved to be a formidable challenge. Their duel was a spectacle of skill, with Quan's calculated strategies countering Rayleigh's precision and raw power. The new generation leveraged strategic matchups to their advantage. Blackbeard's ability to nullify devil fruit powers was a game-changer, allowing fighters like Luffy, Zoro, and Kid to attack the incapacitated Big Mom without fear of her devastating abilities. The coordination between the new generation's leaders was impeccable. Luffy's advanced Conqueror's Haki, combined with Zoro's swordsmanship and Kid's brute strength, created a barrage of relentless attacks that Big Mom could not withstand. Despite her attempts to rally, the teamwork and determination of the new generation overwhelmed her. Quan's battle with Rayleigh, while a one-on-one duel, was no less significant. Quan's ability to adapt to Rayleigh's techniques and exploit openings in his defenses highlighted the new generation's ingenuity and resilience. The clash between these two warriors symbolized the passing of the torch from the old era to the new. As the battle reached its climax, Quan managed to outmaneuver Rayleigh, delivering a decisive blow that left the Dark King incapacitated. This victory marked a turning point, as it showcased the new generation's capacity to surpass even the most legendary figures of the past. The defeat of Big Mom and the incapacitation of Rayleigh sent shockwaves through the battlefield. The old generation, long thought invincible, began to falter under the relentless assault of the new generation. Blackbeard and Quan's contributions were instrumental in securing this decisive victory. Their actions not only shifted the momentum of the battle but also inspired their comrades to push forward with renewed determination. The fall of two of the old generation's most powerful figures marked a turning point in the war, solidifying the new generation's resolve to claim their place in history. The balance of power shifted dramatically as Whitebeard and Odin joined the battlefield, reinforcing the old generation with their unparalleled strength and leadership. Whitebeard, in his prime, was a force of nature. His Gura Gura no Mi powers created massive earthquakes that tore through the battlefield, wreaking havoc on the ranks of the new generation. Odin, with his legendary swordsmanship and unyielding spirit, stood as an indomitable force, inspiring the old generation to fight with renewed vigor. Despite their previous victories, the new generation found themselves at a severe disadvantage. Luffy, Kid, Law, and their allies fought valiantly, employing every ounce of their strength and ingenuity to counter the overwhelming might of Whitebeard and Odin. Luffy's advanced Conqueror's Haki clashed with Whitebeard's immense power, creating shockwaves that rippled across the battlefield. Kid's magnetic abilities and Law's surgical precision with his Opope no Mi were put to the test as they faced the relentless onslaught of the old generation. The coordination between Whitebeard and Odin was a sight to behold. Their combined attacks were devastating, leaving little room for the new generation to mount a counteroffensive. Whitebeard's earthquakes disrupted the battlefield, making it difficult for the new generation to maintain their footing and execute their strategies. Odin's relentless assaults, fueled by his fiery determination, pushed even the most seasoned fighters of the new generation to their limits. The new generation's efforts were nothing short of heroic. Luffy's resilience and determination inspired his comrades to keep fighting, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Zoro's mastery of swordsmanship, combined with Sanji's speed and precision, created opportunities for their allies to land crucial blows. Kid and Law's teamwork was exemplary, with their complementary abilities allowing them to execute complex strategies that momentarily disrupted the old generation's dominance. However, the sheer power and experience of Whitebeard and Odin proved to be insurmountable. The old generation's coordinated teamwork and strategic prowess highlighted the gap between the two eras. Whitebeard's ability to create massive shockwaves and Odin's relentless swordsmanship overwhelmed the new generation's defenses, leaving them vulnerable to devastating counterattacks. As the battle wore on, the new generation suffered devastating defeats. Luffy, despite his best efforts, was unable to overcome Whitebeard's immense power. Kid and Law, despite their ingenuity, were outmatched by the old generation's coordinated attacks. The battlefield was littered with the fallen, as the new generation's leaders struggled to regroup and mount a final stand. The arrival of Whitebeard and Odin marked a turning point in the war, showcasing the enduring strength of the old generation. Despite their heroic efforts, the new generation was unable to overcome the overwhelming power and experience of their predecessors. The devastating defeats they suffered served as a sobering reminder of the challenges they faced in their quest to claim the mantle of the next Pirate King. While the new generation's resolve remained unbroken, the losses they endured highlighted the need for further growth and unity. The battle between the old and new generations was far from over, and the outcome of this clash would shape the future of the world. As the dust settled, both sides prepared for the next stage of their epic confrontation, knowing that the stakes had never been higher. In a dramatic and transformative turn of events, the world of pirates witnesses a seismic shift in its power structure. The old guard, epitomized by iconic figures like Kaido and Big Mom, faces an insurmountable challenge as the new generation rises to prominence. At the heart of this clash is the strategic intervention of two of the most powerful and calculating figures in the One Piece world, Dracula Mihawk and Crocodile. Together, they form an alliance that not only enhances the rookie's strength but also shifts the balance of power within the pirate world. Their role in this stage becomes instrumental in the defeat of former titans, paving the way for the rookies to emerge victorious in a hard-fought battle that will change the course of history for years. The balance of power in the world of piracy has been dominated by the Emperors of the Sea, including Kaido and Big Mom, two of the strongest pirates alive. The old generation, fortified by immense power, experience, and legacies, seemed invincible. However, cracks had begun to show in their rule. The emerging rookies, young pirates who represented new hopes and ambitions, had been steadily making their mark. Key figures like Luffy, Law, Kid, and others, driven by their ideals and the desire to reshape the world, were beginning to challenge the status quo. Though individually powerful, they lacked the cohesion and strategic advantage to topple such formidable foes. That is until Mihawk and Crocodile, two distinct yet complementary figures, step in to offer their support. Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman, brings unparalleled combat expertise and knowledge of tactics to the table. Crocodile, once a formidable antagonist in his own right, has a ruthless and strategic mind that adds an element of cunning to the new generation's ranks. Their decision to assist the rookies marks a turning point, a union of old and new that will tip the scales in favor of the younger generation. Mihawk's addition to the new generation is more than just a recruitment of raw strength. it is the introduction of a disciplined, masterful approach to combat. His reputation as the world's greatest swordsman precedes him, and his presence instantly elevates the rookie's fighting potential. Luffy, Kid, and Law, despite their formidable abilities, had always lacked a precise edge in swordsmanship and overall combat strategy. Mihawk's teachings offer them the technical mastery and mental sharpness that would be required to contend with titans like Kaido and Big Mom. One of Mihawk's most significant contributions is his mentorship, especially to Zoro, Luffy's trusted swordsman. Zoro, already a prodigious fighter in his own right, trains under Mihawk's tutelage, pushing his skills to a level previously unseen. His newfound strength becomes a game-changer during critical battles against some of the strongest figures of the old generation. Mihawk's quiet, calculated demeanor helps Zoro and the other rookies focus on strategy rather than just brute force. This shift in mindset proves crucial as the battles escalate. Crocodile, the former warlord of the sea and one of the most calculating pirates in the world, brings a different kind of strength to the new generation. Where Mihawk offers combat training, Crocodile provides the rookies with invaluable experience in handling large-scale conflicts and warfare. Known for his strategic acumen, Crocodile's understanding of the political and social dynamics of the pirate world becomes indispensable. His alliance with the rookies is more than a mere power boost. It is a tactical partnership that helps them navigate the shifting tides of war. Crocodile's influence on the rookies is particularly felt in the way they approach large-scale confrontations. While they might have the power to take down individual enemies, understanding the importance of alliances, resource management, and battlefield tactics helps them shape the flow of the war. His willingness to play the long game, even at the risk of making temporary alliances with dubious characters, helps the rookie secure key victories and edge closer to their ultimate goal of dethroning the Emperors. The key to the rookies' ultimate success against the Emperors lies in the way they exploit their newfound strategic edge. Mihawk and Crocodile's influence allows them to form key pairings that are more than just random alliances. They are deliberate, calculated partnerships designed to exploit the weaknesses of Kaido and Big Mom. For instance, Law, with his ability to manipulate space using the Opope no Mi, forms an unexpected but incredibly effective duo with Crocodile. Law's precision and Crocodile's mastery over the desert and sand allow them to create an unstoppable combination of offense and defense. As the battle against Kaido intensifies, this partnership proves critical. Law's room allows Crocodile to manipulate the environment to a greater degree, forcing Kaido into situations where he is unable to fight at full capacity. Zoro, under Mihawk's mentorship, finds a powerful ally in Kid. Both have the strength to take on formidable opponents, but their combined fighting styles, Zoro's precise swordsmanship and Kid's raw power, become an unstoppable force. They challenge Kaido's monstrous physical strength by using their skills in tandem, exploiting his weaknesses and taking full advantage of Mihawk's teachings. The battle against Kaido's forces is grueling, but the pairing of Zoro and Kid proves to be one of the most effective strategies in the rookie's arsenal. Luffy, always at the forefront of the new generation's push, faces Big Mom. With Mihawk's guidance in swordplay and Crocodile's strategic insights, Luffy's attack strategy evolves from one of pure instinct to one of calculated precision. This, combined with his newfound understanding of Haki, helps him land decisive blows on Big Mom, who has long been seen as an impenetrable force. The culmination of this intense series of battles is the rookie's ultimate victory over Kaido and Big Mom, a victory that feels both hard-won and inevitable. The pairing of Mihawk and Crocodile with the new generation has created a synergy that the old generation simply cannot match. Through careful strategy, expert training, and unrelenting determination, the rookies succeed in defeating the most formidable pirates of their time. The significance of this victory cannot be overstated. With Kaido and Big Mom out of the picture, the rookies not only secure a powerful place for themselves in the pirate world but also disrupt the old system that has held sway for so long. This victory paves the way for a new era, one in which the rookies take the reins and shape the course of history. They are no longer mere upstarts. They are the future of piracy. Mihawk and Crocodile, though often enigmatic in their motivations, have undeniably reshaped the landscape of piracy. Their influence on the new generation has elevated the rookies to a level where they are no longer just challengers to the old guard, they are the new powerhouses. The world now faces the rise of a new generation of pirates, backed by the teachings of the past but driven by the ideals of the future. The battles against Kaido and Big Mom were only the beginning, and the world watches in anticipation as the rookies begin to forge their own legacies, with Mihawk and Crocodile standing by, watching with keen eyes. The arrival of Rox D. Zebek marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing battle between the old and new generations of pirates. A figure shrouded in legend, Zebek's re-emergence sends shockwaves through the entire world of piracy. His name is one that has been whispered about in fear and awe for decades, and for good reason. As the old generation's ultimate fighter, Xebec is a force that even the combined might of the new generation cannot easily overcome. This stage is defined by the rise of the old generation's overwhelming power, as they turn the tide in what initially seemed like a battle that the rookies were destined to win. Even with formidable pairings like Shanks and Luffy teaming up, the strength of the old guard proves to be insurmountable. The defeat of the new generation under the crushing weight of Xebec's return signals a sobering reality for the rookies. The road to victory is much longer and more perilous than they ever imagined. Rox D. Xebec, once considered one of the most fearsome pirates in history, has long been absent from the world stage. His name had become synonymous with destruction, ambition, and chaos. The rocks of his crew, each a monster in their own right, struck terror into the hearts of even the strongest warriors of his time. It was said that his dream was to rule the world, a goal that he pursued with an intensity and ruthlessness that made even the most infamous pirates appear tame in comparison. His legacy was one of sheer dominance, but his eventual downfall, at the hands of the Marines and the world government, marked the end of an era. However, the winds of fate are unpredictable. Just when the new generation seems poised to rewrite history, the impossible happens. Rox D. Xebec makes his return, shattering the fragile hopes of the rookies. His revival is not just a personal return to power, it is the resurgence of a force capable of toppling the newly risen generation. Xebec is not just a physical powerhouse, his intellect and ambition are what make him so dangerous. With years of experience behind him, he is a tactician unlike any other, understanding the flow of battle and the psychology of his enemies. His ability to exploit weaknesses, both in his opponents and in the political landscape of the pirate world, gives him a nearly insurmountable edge. As he arrives on the battlefield, it quickly becomes clear that the rookies are no match for his sheer presence. In the face of this looming threat, Shanks and Luffy, two of the most promising members of the new generation, form an alliance to stand against the revived Xebec. Shanks, a seasoned and skilled pirate, is known for his immense haki abilities and his strategic thinking. Luffy, while younger and less experienced, possesses a raw power and an indomitable will that have seen him through countless challenges. Together, their combined strength represents the best chance the new generation has to confront the old guard. The alliance between Shanks and Luffy is born out of necessity. The two of them understand that alone, they would stand little chance against Xebec's overwhelming power. Their bond, forged over years of mutual respect and admiration, becomes the foundation of their strategy. They fight not only for themselves but for the future of piracy. Shanks brings his experience, while Luffy brings his unmatched determination and unpredictability. Together, they make a formidable pair, one that even the greatest warriors of the old generation would have to take seriously. However, despite their combined strength, the sheer power and experience of Xebec and his allies make it clear that the fight is stacked against them. Shanks and Luffy fight valiantly, but they soon realize that the tides of the battle are turning in favor of the old generation. The old generation, not just in the form of Xebec but also through other key figures like Kaido, Big Mom, and Blackbeard, stand united in their resolve to maintain their dominance. Xebec is not fighting alone. The old generation's network of powerful pirates and former allies, who have long since been written off by the new generation as relics of the past, are now fighting side by side under Xebec's leadership. The alliance between Xebec and other former emperors is a terrifying sight to behold. Each of these individuals, having lived through countless battles, possesses unparalleled power, experience, and ferocity. Kaido, Big Mom, Blackbeard, and others form a nearly unbreakable front, and their combined strength ensures that the old generation's victory is inevitable. Xebec, with his tactical genius, orchestrates the battlefield like a master chess player. His ability to read the movements of his enemies and predict their actions allows him to counter the rookies at every turn. His mastery of haki and his sheer physical strength make him a nearly unstoppable force. Even with Shanks and Luffy fighting alongside their most powerful allies, they struggle to keep up with Xebec's relentless assault. Moreover, the old generation's bonds are strengthened by years of loyalty and shared history. These pirates, though not all on the same side in the past, have united under Xebec's banner, creating an unshakable sense of unity. Their battles are not just for personal gain but for the preservation of their legacy. For the rookies, this is a fight against the very embodiment of their future being threatened by the weight of the past. As the battle rages on, the outcome becomes clear. Despite their impressive teamwork and the strength of their combined efforts, Shanks and Luffy's alliance is unable to overcome the sheer might of the old generation. Xebec's intelligence and power give him the edge, and the rookies are outclassed at every turn. The victory of the old generation is inevitable, and the new generation is ultimately forced into a humiliating defeat. This defeat has profound consequences for the rookies. The once confident pirates, full of ambition and hope, now face the crushing realization that they are not yet ready to challenge the full might of the old guard. Their strength, while impressive, is no match for the ruthless power of those who have lived through decades of bloodshed and battles. Shanks and Luffy, though powerful, cannot overcome the weight of Xebec return and the overwhelming strength of his allies. The defeat of the new generation serves as a sobering lesson for the rookies. They have been forced to confront the harsh reality that the road to becoming the greatest pirates in the world is not a simple one. The rise of Xebec and the overwhelming might of the old generation remind them that they still have much to learn, and the stakes have never been higher. Despite this crushing defeat, the battle is not over. Shanks and Luffy, along with the other rookies, are determined to rise again. This defeat will become the catalyst for their growth, pushing them to become stronger, smarter, and more unified in their fight for the future of piracy. The flames of ambition burn brighter than ever, and the battle for supremacy in the pirate world is far from finished. Xebec's return and the defeat of the new generation signal a brief yet profound moment in the war between old and new. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the battle for the future of the world is just beginning, and it will take everything the rookies have to ever hope to challenge the dominance of the old guard.